Hi, I'm Curious Cass, and this is Curiosity Junkie. Today's guest worked in the ER for 14 years. She is now a doctor of occupational medicine, and she's here to talk about frequency-specific microcurrent. Please welcome Dr. Kyla Cooch to the show. Hi, Kyla. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Good to have you on the show. Thank you for taking the time to come on and talk to us about all things occupational medicine.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's jump in with what got you into medicine in the first place?
Oh, that's nothing exciting there, honestly. I just knew I wanted to be a doctor since I was a little kid. I don't know. I wanted to help people, and I wanted to be a doctor since I was a little kid, and that was just my path. So I knew it, and I pursued it, and made it happen. Went to undergrad in Kansas, did my med school up in Iowa, and then did my emergency residency up in Michigan.
Right. And I see that you have spent some time in the emergency room, like quite a few years.
Yeah, I think with residency and then after residency, I was in the ER for about 14 years altogether. So I've seen a lot, been through a lot, treated lots and lots of patients of all varying degrees of injury and illness, and all different ages too. Little, newborns up to very elderly. So
right,
it was a good run.
What was your favorite part about being in the emergency room?
When I first started, I really had that adrenaline rush of enjoying, the trauma drama. I don't know, just all of the excitement and the variety. And then as time went by, it didn't become so exciting anymore. And, and then it's just a lot of heartache too. It's a lot of emotional stress in addition to the physical stress. And, and the ER is open 24/7, 365. So my shifts were all over the place, days, nights, evenings, weekends, holidays, everything had to be covered. So in the meantime, I had a family and 4 girls and decided, I don't think I want to do this long term. So I kind of made a shift or a transition into occupational medicine. So now I'm the plant physician at a manufacturing company, and I work days Monday through Friday. So it's a lot better for my family.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I would imagine that would be hard on the family unit because you probably don't know your schedule that far out and it's all over the place.
All over the place. I felt bad when I'd have to say, okay, you guys need to leave because I need to sleep today, type of thing. So,
right. Can you go somewhere else? That's great.
Yeah.
So what was it, just the hours that took you into the occupational medicine, or was it something that you saw in ER?
Yeah, it was. I actually dabbled in the occupational medicine. The company was right down the street from the hospital I worked at, and they needed a doctor to fill in. So I was doing 1 day a week for a little while. And so I kind of was able to kind of test it out really. And then that just made for an easy transition. I liked it. I knew it. And then, I didn't want to work the weekends anymore. I was missing my kids' activities and stuff. So I just jumped into that, and it's been wonderful ever since. It still has a good amount of variety. I mean, the plant I'm at has about 7,500 people. So it's almost like a small city. So there's a whole variety of different injuries, and it's busy enough to keep me going, and I enjoy it. Yeah.
Right. Many years ago, I worked for an industrial clinic, and we had several doctors on staff, and we took many companies, not just one. So it was all different kinds of, definitely some crazy injuries. The absolute worst one I ever saw was an older gentleman was feeding stuff into a roller press, and his hand went in, and before they got it stopped, it was pretty much like the whole hand. And that was pretty traumatic to see, because I am not a medical person, but I remember him coming in after going to the emergency room, and, then we have to start the therapies and the treatments and all of that. And his hand was it was crazy.
Mangled, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes. But he got mobility back, and it was pretty impressive what the occupational medicine doctors do. They can take some pretty messed up stuff and with therapy bring it back to functioning.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to the therapists, right? We have therapists on site as well, and they do amazing things with people. So I give them tons of credit. Yes.
Yes, yes. So I know one of your favorite things that you're really enjoying using and want to talk about is the FSM, frequency specific microcurrent.
Yes,
Woo,
yes.
I did it.
New and wonderful. Yes, I'm loving it.
Okay, well, what is it exactly, and how does it work? What do you love about it?
Sure. So it's this device that I'm wearing here. It's called the Healy, and it's a wearable, FDA cleared medical device, type 2 medical device, that has just recently become available in the United States back in May of this year. So the technology itself, frequency specific microcurrent, it is a mouthful to say, FSM, has been around for quite a few years. So it started over in Europe, and over in Europe about 10 years ago or so, they had this company called Time Waver, who put out these large kind of tabletop machine devices that delivered this microcurrent into patients. So it was sold to clinicians, doctors, chiropractors, different offices, but the office itself would buy a machine, might have been $15,000 to $20,000, and then patients would come to the clinic and they would treat the patients once a week, twice a week, whatever was warranted. But basically they found such incredible success with those treatments that then the same guy who created the big unit has now shrunk it down into this little wearable device.
Wow.
And created this company called the Healy Company that has launched it, I think, in over 40 countries. It started over in Europe and then Australia, but 40 countries over there, and then again just launched in the United States in May. So this is just brand new, cutting edge technology in a wearable device. This is controlled with an app on your smartphone. So you download the app, and then the app, you can pick which program you want to run. So the concept behind frequency specific microcurrent, people go, well, is it like a TENS unit? Well, you can think of it similar because I'm wearing these electrode bracelets. So it's delivering the current through the wrist electrodes, but you can also put on the sticky pads, which are like TENS unit type of things. So right. You can use either the bracelets or the pads, but TENS unit is about 1,000 times stronger current, because what it's trying to do and what it does is activate the muscle contraction, fast, slow, whatever. So it's activating muscle contraction. This doesn't do that. This is like 1,000 times less powerful, working on that micro frequency level. So when you turn it on, you feel maybe just a little slight tingle in your fingers, your hands type of thing. It's working. But then that current is going through your body. And there have been studies done that show that this current, the way it works is that it is increasing it's on a cellular level, the ATP. ATP is like the gas for your car. It's the energy producing portion of the cells. So if you can keep the cells in a healthier, high voltage state, they're going to be healthier and less prone to inflammation, aches and pains, cancer, and then eventually aging and dying. So if you can keep that tumor cell young and healthy and full of energy, it's going to be make your body healthier. So the current concept, or the frequency concept, I like to use the analogy that I've heard before from other people with the same analogy. It just makes sense to me. But you've heard of or seen even a lady, it's usually a lady singer, who sings a note and holds that note long enough that a lead crystal glass will shatter.
Yes.
So how does that work, right? So lead crystal, and it has to be lead crystal. It's not just any glass, but lead crystal has atoms that the lead in them will resonate or vibrate at a certain frequency. So if you hold that note singing, it's not the volume of the note, it's the holding at a certain pitch, that certain resonance, those lead atoms will start vibrating to the point that then the glass shatters. So it's the same type of concept. So every different organ in your body responds to or vibrates at a certain specific current. So there's some really smart people out there, especially over in Europe, that have worked with this technology and these currents for 10 plus years, whatever, and figured out what currents work for what conditions. So there's certain specific currents, and it might be 230 megahertz, or it might be 527.2 megahertz, or whatever. There's specific numbers frequency-wise that work on different symptoms or organs of the body. So things that can be, pain and inflammation is the number one thing that people are wanting to treat. Who has pain that doesn't want to get out of pain, right? Everybody wants to get out of pain. And pain is usually due to inflammation. Most symptoms in the body are due to inflammatory condition of some sort. So if you have skin problems, that's usually inflammation showing its head, via the rash or the whatever on the skin. Asthma, that's an inflammatory condition. So this can work to decrease the inflammation in the lungs because there's specific currents that work on the lungs. GI, there's people, I had one of my friends treated a friend of hers the other day who'd had real bad GI problems for years, like chronically, and literally after the treatment the next day, her GI symptoms calmed down. So we're seeing amazing results with the treatment. I've got another friend who's had foot pain, plantar fasciitis, right? That arch of your foot that hurts so bad, especially first thing in the morning. And I treated her with 2 programs. She got up and walked. She's like, wait a minute, this is what? My feet don't hurt. And they've been hurting daily, chronically for months, Now, some people with the real chronic illnesses that are, maybe years long might take more treatments. And there's research. There's a great book out there that's written by a lady who's done this frequency current treatment for years. And she goes through a bunch of different scenarios of people she's treated. But she does say that the ones that are more chronic are going to take recurrent treatments maybe for a few weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, 2 to 3 times a week type of thing to kind of get over it. But she would see that inflammation and their symptoms kind of decreasing with each subsequent visit. So Super exciting, brand new technology, new things. With new things come doubters, right? So there's a lot of people who kind of scoff at it, but I'm like, you know what? If you're open-minded and you're willing to try something, what if it works, right? And it is working. So that's the brilliance of it.
And I would think someone in chronic pain, because I work for a chiropractor, and we see a lot of people, and he's not just a chiropractor, he's into anything that will help a patient heal and start to move in a more positive direction with their health. And so he does the FSM with the big piece of equipment and with the gloves. It's very similar to this, and it's fantastic. So I'm a total believer, and I've seen people change. And you're right, people who have chronic, and they've been chronic for years, they've tried all the medical stuff, they come to us and they start in therapy, and it's amazing how that does start to change them. And the inflammation, I really want to drive that home, is the biggest cause of most of our pain, discomfort, and illnesses. So if this is something that can help eliminate that, I think about the opioid problem that we have for chronic pain.
Definitely.
And how this could absolutely replace that and get people off of big pharma. I just think.
Right. And so speaking of big pharma, some people are like, well, where's the research? Well, I think as this becomes more mainstream, there'll be more research that comes out, but there hasn't been big pharma money to fund research, right? And so, but again, the testimonials, the personal testimonials are what, I'll totally go with that. Another thing is that people have treated their pets with it. Well, pets are not going to have a placebo effect, right? Pets are, they don't even, they're either good or they're bad, right? They're good or they're bad. So if they're in that book, the lady who's done a ton of these, she explained this case about this horse who was lame, had an injury in a jumping accident and had not run in over a year. It was just barely would walk real slow. Well, they took their machine and they treated this horse, and within, I don't know, it was 30, 45 minutes, the horse, then they walked it around the arena and it realized it was out of pain, and then it started galloping, and it was like frolicking, almost like a little colt, like so like, excited to be out of pain. Yeah. Right. And so, I mean, you can't fake that. Animals don't have placebo effects. So interesting testimonials out there.
Absolutely. So if someone is interested in, you're living with chronic pain, or you've got some issues, I'm assuming this would help with arthritis as well.
For sure. Yep. Mm-hmm.
If someone's dealing with a chronic issue or just wants to be healthier and have healthier cells, how do you find this thing? Is it something you could do at home or?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, the beauty of it too is that you buy one device and you can treat your whole family. I've treated one of my daughters has insomnia, and the nights when we treat her, she sleeps like a baby. You know, the nights when we don't treat her might be a little rocky. I'm hoping that when we get into a better pattern, we won't have to treat her every night, but it's definitely showing that works. I've got another daughter who's had this back pain. She's an athlete and she, you know, keeps complaining of this back pain. And every time I treat her, she's like, wow, that's better, you know? So it's, you know, amazing, but you can buy one device and treat your family, your friends, whomever, and share the benefits with them.
Right.
But to say, you know, where can you find, you know, I'm happy to help anybody if they want to reach out to me, get them in touch with somebody, but.
Okay. Yeah. Or just a way for someone to find out more about it. Cause I think that's fascinating.
Just go to Google or there's a bunch of Facebook testimonial pages. If you type in Healy testimonials or Healy experience, there's Facebook pages. You can go out and just read about all these people that are shouting their successes from the treetops. Yeah.
Right. And is it HEELY? Or
HEA, HEALY, like heal, like, healing. Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Well, very cool.
I wanted to tell you this, there are, you know, Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla were two of the greatest minds ever. Right. And so, they lived a long time ago, but Albert Einstein said this quote that I just love. And it says, everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. So I like that. And then Nikola Tesla has a quote that he said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yeah.
So these guys were really smart, and they kind of knew this stuff back then, but now it's finally becoming mainstream. But again, you know, it's new, and you have to have an open mind and just try it.
Absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's really my reason for getting into and wanting to do this podcast is to kind of expose people to things that they wouldn't normally research without someone else saying, hey, this is really a valuable tool. You should at least take a look at it and open your mind a little bit to the benefits of doing something different outside of the normal medicine. Sometimes it's okay to question. That's my big,
I tell people, do your own research for sure. Do your research and then read all the testimonials and read the book. The Resonance Effect is the name of the book. And it's by a lady named Carolyn McMakin, McMakin. Book's available on Amazon. I mean, amazing information. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I love it. Well, that just is amazing that there is something out there. I love that we're going to share this and people can take it and run with it or leave it lie. But I love when I get a hold of something new and interesting that is working and helping people feel better. It's just fantastic. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. It's been fun to see all the positive testimonials out there, and I hope more people can benefit from it.
Right. Absolutely. Fingers crossed, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's roll in. Do you mind doing the final five with me?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. First one is, what's your favorite word?
Word? What's my favorite word? Gratitude.
Ooh, I like that. It's a good way to start each day, right?
Every day, yes.
All right. What drives you crazy or what turns you off?
I would say closed-mindedness.
Yes, welcome to the club.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How about favorite noise or sound?
Ooh, my kids laughing.
Ah, yes.
Love that.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing better, right? Just knowing they're happy.
Best. Yeah.
Okay. How about favorite cuss word?
Ooh.
I know, right?
I'll have to say the F word. I'll say that.
Right.
I like it. You have to use it appropriately, but it's a good one.
Yeah. Yes.
Get your point across.
Absolutely. Many people like it because they're like, it just has that, like, it's the word.
It's the word. It is.
Total release. I feel better.
Yes,
Yes. Fantastic. Okay. If you weren't doing what you're currently doing, what would you like to attempt?
Oh, I love party planning. I don't like the fact that it's going to be always evenings and weekends probably, but I love to plan a good party. It's fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Bringing people together. So much fun.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, Kyla, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to put all your info about the book. And if you want to share your email, great. If you want people to just go online and search Healy, I'll put that information in there as well. But I will leave the info for everybody just so you all know. Her connection stuff will be in there. And thank you all for joining again today, tuning in, listening, watching. Stay safe and stay curious. Thanks, Kyla.
Thank you.